What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Saltwater Salvation YouTube channel. In this video today, I'm just going to show you really quickly how to clean up a lobster and how to fillet some tilefish. Obviously, you can do this with any type of fish that you catch, so enjoy. Alright guys, so what we're going to start off by doing is breaking off the tip of the lobster's antenna. I usually like to break it off at the end portion of it, so it's a little bit thinner. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to take your knife and kind of just go around the shell just to kind of loosen up the meat a little bit. You tend to get a little bit more meat when you do this. Once that's done, fold the lobster's tail towards its body, hold the torso of the lobster, and then twist it right off. From there, you're going to use that antenna and you're going to stick it up the back of the lobster. So sometimes what happens is the lobster's vein will come out on the antenna, but for this time it actually just kind of loosened the vein up and I was able to pull it out like so to clean it up. Now you'll see it's ready to go. You can either bag it up and freeze it, or you could throw it on the grill immediately. So now we're going to start filleting this tilefish. What I tend to do, I don't have any descaling tools, so what I just use is this big metal spoon here to descale them. The tilefish scales are a little bit different than, like, let's say a snapper or something along those lines. The scales are a lot easier to take off. They're a lot closer together, a little bit softer than what you'd see on like maybe a mutton snapper or a fish of that sort. Once I'm done here, I just go ahead and I start cleaning up the fish a little bit. Take all the scales off the table. Sometimes when you're filleting and the scales are all over the place, makes it a little bit difficult to cut through the fish. So I just wanted to clean off the station, clean off the knife a little bit. Alright, so from here, I'll take the knife and I'll make a slit right behind the fin there. And then I'll make a line through from the top of the fish all the way down to its tail. So from here, what I like to do is you want to keep the knife kind of at a little bit of an angle so you can kind of feel the bones when you're running it through the back like I'm doing here. That just gets a cleaner, closer cut, so you're not losing as much meat. Right here, you see I missed a little bit of meat right there. So I cut a slit in the back so it's easier for me to get through. And I'll just continue to run that knife along the back and over the spine. Obviously where I missed a little bit of meat there was right over the spine of it. Now what I just start doing is scoring it around the outside so it's a little bit easier for me when I'm done filleting it to take the fillet off. Now as soon as I get a little bit closer here, kind of where the knife is right now, up in that area, there's the fish's rib cage. So what you want to do is when you get to that area, you kind of want to angle your knife up a little bit. You might miss some meat, but it's very difficult to break through some of the rib cage there. So you want to see it comes out with a pretty nice fillet. And what I like to do is I just like to clean these fillets up a little bit. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go down on an angle there into the skin, kind of, and run that knife right between the meat and the skin. Obviously my knife is not too sharp here, so it's kind of giving me a hard time. But you see how it comes off. I'm able to remove the meat from the skin completely. So Once this is done, I clean up the fish. Like right there, I'm cutting out the spine. You can feel all the spines on these fish. So I just like to cut those out, cut any bloodlines out, and any pieces that, I'm really not fond of with the fillet. So you'll see me take this piece out right here, toss that, and I will just cut this fillet into some smaller pieces so it's easier for me to bag. Alright, so let's start on this second fish. I went ahead, I descaled it already, and now I'm just kind of scoring the fish out, obviously right behind the fin and down the back of the fish to the tail. This one's actually a lot better. This is the easier side for me. When I flip the fish over, it tends to be a little harder. So you'll see like this fillet is going to be a lot better probably than the last one. So you see I'm just running the knife down the spine, getting all the meat I can, and obviously when you get to the spine part, you got to kind of face the knife down at an angle to get the meat on the back side of the fish. And then there we go. I'm trying to get over the spine, the rib cage here. That's a difficult part. Getting right over the ribs. And after filleting hundreds of fish already, it's, sometimes they're perfect, sometimes they're not. Sometimes we're rushing, so they all come out. Sometimes they come out better than others, but it's just part of it. This one I kind of cut one of the bottom fins, but I end up removing it at the end. So I'm going to score it here, get rid of that fin. And obviously this knife is dull. Probably should be using a lot better of a knife, but it's going to have to do for now. I want to get like an electric knife sharpener. So you'll see, it was still a pretty nice fillet. Got pretty close. I didn't waste too much there. Butchered it a little bit on the other underside, but it came out pretty good. And I thought I saw something inside the fish at this point. That's why I was kind of looking through it. I thought there was like some weird fish in there that he ate. Some of us, like I know most of us, when we're like filleting fish, we like to look through the stomach, see what it's been eating. But I was up super early this day, and I just got home, and I was just ready to fillet these fish and go relax for a bit. So now I'm cutting off some bone pieces, the bottom of the fin there that I accidentally cut. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the skin off the fish. So you see I'll kind of like grab a little piece there, angle the knife down at an angle, and just start pulling off the meat from the skin. So you can just run it right under there, and you can use the actual skin to help you pull through. You'll see how I start pulling back on the skin and then kind of pulling the knife forward, and it helps me, it gives me some leverage there to help get through the skin a little better. So this fillet also came out pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead, clean it up, take some other bones out, take any bloodlines out, just like that. And from there I'll just cut it into some pieces so I can go ahead and bag it up